definition by Power Through Collaboration book by Stephen Willis, collaboration means cooperation. It's narrower form of cooperation. It is, and consolidation goes against collaboration. So this is something that needs to be analyzed. And silicon has now disappeared from the valley because of the fabless model. One thing I should, as a macroeconomist, I can tell that.
Can you keep the question short?
Yeah, the question is short. Fabless model worked for United States because United States has been a global currency, because of which the trade and the budget deficits they could sustain by printing currency. That kind of approach, India cannot adopt it because we are not a global currency. So if we do the approach that US did for the sustaining the fabless model, we're going to have a bigger economic crisis rather than solving our problem. So we need to change that approach from globalized fabless to domestic approach.
Sure. We got.
I don't completely agree with you. We are quite a globalized economy. I think the boundaries between India and rest of the countries we trade with, I think they are completely disappearing every day. And when I said also, in US, the global, the bigger companies, they were playing two kinds of roles. One was definitely acquiring the smaller and smaller companies. But if you look at in the last 10 years, they're also setting aside some funds. In fact, Intel has a separate fund to look at some bright ideas from young startups and to fund them. I think that's what we should do also. There are a lot of large companies in India. They're doing extremely well. They're public. They have tons of cash sitting in the banks. They can always set aside some cash to fund some of these, young, brilliant ideas. Okay, that's what my take.
Yeah, and consolidation and collaboration, it's not an either-or situation. Both have to happen. Okay, so it's not that you just make one choice and do not make the other choice. And you've seen that time and again happening in multiple industries where, yes, consolidation happens. Yes, there are smaller companies which themselves become big. So there will be multiple models that will coexist.
Yeah, I have the mic.
Yeah.
My name is Anant Bhatt. I run a company called Chowki Services. I would like to ask a question to Dr. Sagar. Many of us volunteer our time in the Talent CIG initiative of IESA. That is the Talent Common Interest Group. So in this activity, we visit a lot of colleges and educate about ESDM and in fact run some of the industry-sponsored programs. So you as an academic leader, can you guide us on what are the do's and don'ts of interaction? Saying what is that college looks for? Is it the guest lectures you would prefer? Or is it a mentorship program from an industry and a student? Or would you like us to help you with run a project, for example, of the 8th semester? Or what exactly the best form of spending our volunteering time to help the academia?
Yeah. If you look at the current education system and the education system which will actually start unfurling, in a current system you still have the vestigial remnants of the old university system. You have central universities which will actually, which controls the curriculum development. But this is gradually changing. It's changing in the sense like there are now private universities, there are central universities, there are state universities. Now these universities are not going to be large in number. If you look at the university system in Karnataka, you have a large central technological university which is closer to 100,000 students which get in every year. Now innovation which happens in a large university is rather difficult. And especially when you're running out under a controlled system, the student essentially wants a piece of paper. Now that is gradually going to change. Now what is going to happen at Dayanand Sagar is, we are now a university enacted by the state of legislature, which gives us the ability to be more flexible. So you bring in industry to design your curriculum. The Board of Studies will have a significant members from the industry. You're going to go more into an applied learning system. There would be, when we would go across, and especially in the innovation campus that is being now set up, a large focus is meant on innovation and entrepreneurship besides getting your degree. You will still run through your core areas, but then your focus is more on innovation and entrepreneurship and get out.
And are you giving credits for that?
Yes. There would be credits which would come across. And when entrepreneurship is being developed, there would be mentors. There would be mentors who would go across, and mentors invariably would be drawn across from industry. They would, as they would go across and help these young people to form teams and start building their own companies. At some point of time, if they're not successful, fine, they're at least getting a flavor of understanding what entrepreneurship is. And the least that they would get across is they would have the ability to, since they would deal with industry in a fairly big way, and mentors would be drawn both from from industry as well as the real-time faculty, they would have a broader perspective of going across. So what essentially would go across would be more of project-driven, would be more of, for example, you're running a seminar, would there be a reflection note on the seminar? Today, if you look at the whole point is, when industry wants to engage in a central university system, the student is not interested because at the end of it, there's no absolute benefit that he can get out of understanding the future. He needs to understand the past. And that is what we need to bring about reforms in education is, much as you would understand and hold the strength of the concepts, you will actually need to understand what is it that the future would want from you. So there has to be an active cooperation and collaboration of the industry which will have to work along with academia, and there will have to be a credit-based or even a cooperative program. There could be a co-op program where the student could go on a credit-based internship. They could go across, work as an intern, get credit for the whole purpose. So there has to be a significant brainstorming which will have to go across, because you need to leapfrog into the future. Is not to go across and create, I look at the scenario at Dayanand Sagar. Everybody gets a job, 1 year before they go across. And is that good? And these are highly talented young people. Unless we are able to make them take the next path of not only of creating jobs for others. I think that's where the whole purpose would go across. Have the industry which will come across, have mentors which would come across. And then again, you don't need your lectures. Your lectures can be on the flipboard. Your lectures can be on the cloud. So you can bring, you need more of application-led learning, more of project-related learning, and more of understanding what does the future need.
Thank you. Before we go on to the next question, I have one question for you, Casey. You mentioned that making a product company is not easy in India. And you said then making especially a medical devices company is still more difficult. Will you just expand on that? Why is it not easy in India?
Yeah, I think whenever we talk about product, we always kind of look at, especially in India, we look at the reverse engineering, right? We want to make it low cost, cheap. So when you want to actually look at something very unique, you want to create from scratch, from a from an idea, a concept to a product. It's fairly difficult because I think Vivek also, Rajiv Modi also had shared that getting components itself is going to be fairly difficult. So for you to imagine and order and get something is going to be fairly difficult. Second, we don't have the ecosystem of actually making a lot of things. So we make very good systems, but actually system is how it actually looks, and the look and feel, the user interface, all are very, very important. So we don't have extremely good ecosystem for prototyping and taking it to the market for testing. So device is very difficult. It's because if you have multiple categories in medical devices. So if you're going to making something very invasive, going to get into patient, obviously they'll not test out something which is not tested, and so you have to go through basic regulatory clearances. So at least it has to be tested for CE, for safety, or EMI, EMC, even before you start deploying it, even at a testing phase. And then when you want to get into multi countries, you'll have to get a lot of regulatory clearances which are required. So this combination makes it much more complex.
Right,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, we'll take one last question.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So I
thought
just
I
happened
saw-
to have
yeah.
the mic.
Okay.
I think one of the important contributions into the ecosystem is the mood of the whole population, right? So is there any budget allocated to sort of media coverage of all the success stories we heard in this room, right? There's so many successful products, but if you switch on, I'm sure the business channel, maybe some of it is covered. But if you cover to the mainstream English media in particular, it's so negative. So I mean, just a suggestion and a question as well. Is there any effort going on, like divert some of the dollars at least to showcase these success stories in the mainstream media? I think that will also add to the ecosystem.
Yeah, good idea, good suggestion. I think that is something that should be done. But this goes hand in hand. Once there are success stories, once there are role models that created, then automatically media starts following those success stories and starts following those role models that get created. So I think we need to work on both of those parallelly in order to achieve the desired results. Vivek, one question I have for you. You said that we should focus on some specific industries. So just as China decided to focus on the mobile phones and tablets and so on, what would be, India is a large country, so we could also say take a cluster approach and somewhere do automobile engineering and somewhere do storage batteries and somewhere do IoT on wearables and so on. Gut feel, which are the three things that you think are going to be most important for India?
So you are asking about the application segments? Okay, so first, Pradeep, I believe that this observation that India being a large country, and of course, we can compare ourselves to be so many other countries. Every year we add one Australia, right, in India. So that is. So it means that this is surely a large area. But the point I was making, that one mainstream application, if we can develop, then the others would surely coexist. We cannot say that today China only does a smartphone or tablets, right? They do others also. But when it is one key mainstream, then it becomes a lot more easier. So here, reminding that we are not speaking of small numbers, we are speaking of big, right? When again we take the example of China, more than 50-60% of worldwide phones or tablets are being done there. So to come back, I indicated some of those possible areas, and
You gave lots of ideas, so that's why I'm saying pick three.
So three of them. So one, I indicated that power to me looks like that this is one appropriate application area or segment, because need of India, 1.2, 1.3 billion people, we have less power, and then in power there are three elements. There is generation aspect, there is distribution, and there is consumption. And we need in all three, great applications to really optimize, right? To, for example, channelize non-conventional energy, solar inverters, and so on, distribution. Again, lots of possible technology. Many times, by the way, in distribution, when we are doing power line communication, worldwide it works, it doesn't work in India. We can have specific standards here, right, which can flourish this particular area. And then, of course, consumption, where again, we have specific needs. E-rickshaw, for example, is coming on the block, e-bike, and so on and so forth. So this is one, I think, which could be quite relevant for us. The second one, which I mentioned anyway, IoT, I believe that this is something very new, but is going to become bulk as we go there. And the third one, if I have to pick, I would say, let me take four. So third one, consumer set-top box in particular, we need 100 crore set-top boxes for phase 3 and phase 4, which is huge, and it would be pity that if we keep on importing set-top boxes. Set-top boxes is not a phone. It doesn't need so many mechanical batteries and everything. It is actually hardware, software on a board and a very simple package. It can be done here, and we are working with some local people and quite advanced. And I believe that this particular part can be